Hi, I'm Matthew Adam and I'm a change management consultant with a special interest in supporting teams to improve their performance. Today I'd like to speak to you about what a high-performing team is and how you can begin your journey towards becoming one. You may be asking, what are high-performing teams? Well, they're teams that work well together. They're teams that communicate effectively together. They are teams that have a common vision and collective goals, and they can adjust to change easily and continue to accomplish their goals. Some familiar high-performing teams you may recognise include Liverpool Football Club, the New Zealand All Blacks rugby team, and Apple under Steve Jobs, who year on year produced new and innovative products that have defined the way we live today. Think about your teams for a moment and consider these questions. Do your teams miscommunicate? Does conflict sometimes get in the way of accomplishing work together? What about team dynamics? Are individual or team behaviours leading to underperformance? If you've answered yes to any or all of these questions, don't worry. This is completely normal, but ask yourself this. Is this what you want? So let's imagine for a moment that your team communicate really well, that conflict is managed quickly and you move beyond it. Does this make you a high-performing team? These questions might help you determine if you are or are not. Your team coordinated towards a shared and unified goal? Do you know what your team is trying to achieve? Do your team members have conflicting or competing priorities? Do you know each other's skills and who is best at doing what? If you've answered no to any of these questions, it may mean that you're not performing to your best. Now you might be saying to yourself that you realise that your team could perform better, but how exactly do you do it? The first step towards becoming a high-performing team is to be committed both to each other and the team vision. If members of your team aren't committed, the team won't be working at their best. Getting commitment from everyone is of course difficult and takes time, effort, and the workplace needs to have psychological safety. To become a high-performing team, you will need to have space to introduce reflective thinking. Without this, it will be near impossible, as changing behaviours and interactions needs thinking space. As a team, try to identify and agree on your collective goals. When you've done this, try to close the gap between saying you'll do something and actually doing it. Be clear about the team roles and what each other's skills are. This is about playing to your strengths. Focus on the rules that govern how your team works. Often teams are informed by a culture that is based on rules. If problematic, your team can agree to change these rules. If you're interested in helping your team become a high-performing team, the first step to achieving this goal is to think about what kind of team you are already. Make the time to think together as a team about the following questions. Speak about how your team interact. Consider how well you know each other and personal and professional commitments. Think about the leadership in the team. Who are the natural leaders? What style of leadership is used in your teams? Is your team highly individualistic or are you highly cohesive? Perhaps you're somewhere in between. Do you speak openly and honestly? Do you appreciate each other or hold each other with a degree of disregard? Once you know what kind of team you are, you will be in the best position to realise your true potential and start your journey towards becoming a high-performing team. In future videos, I'll focus on some of the other key points for becoming a high-performing team, including setting goals together, reflecting on roles and identifying the norms and rules of your team and organisation. Thanks for listening.